Live from the BDN Studios, it's Bang and Dang.
That's awesome.
If you don't like that, then
You ain't black.
Welcome to Outlaws and Gunslingers with your host Bang and Dang, and moving on and moving forward with a crazy case. I'm sure everybody's seen it on Netflix, but they didn't tell the real story because there's a lot in this one that Netflix didn't even bother to say, and we're going to look at it here. Chris Watts, obviously you've seen the title, you clicked on it, but they'll take away from this one. We're going to have a lot of, not evidence, I guess, but a theory of the mistress actually being involved, which, as far as my knowledge, not a lot of documentaries about this has looked into. I know there's websites, obviously, that has, but we'll go through that. Obviously, we'll go through the sick piece of shit that did the killing, and obviously the aftermath, and then we'll get into the little...
And not even a good reason. I mean, there's never a good reason to kill, but this wasn't even an arguably a good reason.
Especially, yeah. For how long that they were even together for.
Dumb.
Like the mistress and him.
Right.
Well, early hours of August 13th, 2008, Frederick, Colorado, American oil field operator Christopher Lee Watts, born May 16th, 1985, murdered his pregnant wife Shannon, who was 34, by strangulation, and their two children, Bella and Celeste, by smothering them. Shannon was born in Passaic?
Sure.
Passaic, New Jersey, but later moved to Aberdeen, North Carolina, and Chris was from Spring Lake, North Carolina. Two met on Facebook in 2010 when Chris sent Shannon a friend request. She was like, I'm never going to meet him. She accepted it, and then one thing led to another. These guys were married on November 3rd, 2012.
Dang.
2 years later.
That shit. Blame Facebook.
Right.
Jeez. Early 2013, they moved to Frederick, Colorado. Bought a home at 2825 Saratoga Trail. Chris worked at Anadarko Petroleum, and Shannon worked from home, selling product called Thrive for a company called Lavelle. A couple months later, the couple welcomed their first child, Bella, born December 17th, 2013, which would be tomorrow as we're recording this. Their second child, Celeste, nicknamed Cece, was born on the 17th of July, 2015. Oh, 17. Is that like a...
It must be a thing, right?
Right.
Except for that's the only 17s in the whole numbers that we've seen here.
16th.
He was born in 16, yeah.
They're all within 4 days apart from being born.
Well, including yeah, right. Not years. Right. Things seemed to be going well until June of 2015 when the couple files for bankruptcy. With a combined yearly income of $90,000, they claimed they couldn't afford a $3,000 mortgage and $600 car payment.
You can't.
Which was the majority of their $4,900 monthly expenses.
Yeah. Why would you get a $3,000 mortgage when you only making $90,000 a year? That's just stupidity. That's the dumbest thing in the world. How did a bank even allow that?
I feel like you could still afford that.
They don't know you can't. $3,000 a month. Their monthly is if you're bringing home maybe about $4,000 to $5,000 a month. If they're bringing $90,000 a year, divide that times 52. We'll divide it by 12. Bring home $7,500 a month.
Right, so they got an extra fucking $2,600 a month.
Extra $3,000, an extra $4,500 a month.
No, because their monthly expenses are $4,900. Just the house and the car payments take up most of that.
So 49, yeah. So they should be able to live up that.
Right, you would think so.
All right.
That's just called poor budgeting and poor spending.
Right, I'll say so.
After this, apparently, they're also getting sued by their housing organization or what are they called? Homeowners associations? Yeah. That's why you never get one of those. After this, things seem to be going well. On June 11th, 2018, Shannon tells Chris she is pregnant in a video she posted on Facebook, to which the baby is revealed to be a boy, which they plan to name Nico. Baby boy.
Baby Nico. My Nico. Around this time, Chris starts seeing a co-worker named Nichol Kessinger, who worked in Anadarko Petroleum's environmental department. She would see Chris when she would walk to the fridge, and finally Chris came by her office and struck up a conversation. Later that month, they would meet outside of the office for the first time. By July of 2018, the relationship is physical, and they see each other 4 to 5 times a week. Wow. Shit's getting serious.
Right, it was quick.
Did she know he was married?
Well, Kessinger claims Chris told her that him and Shannon are in the process of getting a divorce, which she believes.
Of course.
She goes to his house for the first time on July 4th, 2018, and their first phone call on record is on July 7th.
She goes to his house?
Yeah, July 14th, they go on a date to the Shelby American Collection Car Museum, and on the 28th, they stay the night at Great Sand Dunes National Park. All of this is occurring while his wife and kids are visiting family in North Carolina.
Oh, no shit.
On July 30th, he leaves and joins his family on vacation.
Yeah, I remember that part, yeah.
He's banging his chick for the whole month, and he's like, yeah, I guess I gotta go on vacation too.
Well, texts reveal that around this time, Shannon was telling a friend that there's trouble in the relationship. There's trouble at home, friend. Oh, Shannon, it's okay.
It's okay. I remember in the documentary, she was like, he doesn't even grab my ass no more and all that stuff. Yeah.
Further messages show that there is also tension between her and Chris's parents.
Well, I mean, isn't that like a thing?
Right. And he's probably running back saying a bunch of bullshit.
Right.
Just so everybody hates her. Be more of a, yeah. Data pulled from Kessinger's phone show that on August 4th, she was shopping online for wedding dresses.
Jeez, slow down.
Suggesting the relationship has gotten serious.
Quickly.
But however, Shannon tells a friend that her and Chris had a talk, and it was their best talk yet. It's clear that Chris is playing both sides, obviously. 9th of August, Shannon leaves for a business trip to Arizona.
Yep. 2 days later, Chris hires a babysitter claiming he's going to a baseball game, but he goes to a bar with Kessinger instead.
Fantastic.
August 13th, Shannon returns from a trip, from the business trip, and her friend Nicole Atkinson gives her a ride, returning home at approximately 1:48 a.m. Later, Chris wakes up getting ready for work, and he wants to have a little talk with Shannon here.
All right. He's like, listen, babe.
It ends up more than a talk.
He's like, listen, babe. I got to tell you something.
Things aren't working out.
Right.
I got a gooma.
He tells her that he's having an affair and he wants a divorce. They start arguing. Despite Shannon being 15 weeks pregnant, Chris tells her the marriage won't last and he wants out. In his confession, Chris claims she told him that he will never see his daughters again.
See, you can't be doing that.
Right. I don't think. Maybe she did. I mean, we don't know.
Right.
We don't know. Enraged.
I'm willing to bet she probably did.
Right. Well, this got Chris enraged, and he strangled Shannon to death. At this time, 4-year-old Bella walks in the room and asks Chris, "What are you doing with my mommy?"
Well, Chris tells her that her mom isn't feeling well and they need to take her to the hospital. He then wraps Shannon in a blanket and puts her in his truck. In the back seat on the floor, mind you.
Jeez.
He then puts his daughters in the back seat and heads to one of his work sites. Once there, he smothers Cece to death with her favorite blanket, then dumps her body in an oil tank.
Oh, my.
Bella, who watched Chris kill her sister, pleads with her dad not to do the same thing to her, saying, "Please, Daddy, don't do to me what you just did to Cece." Chris, being the piece of shit that he is, smothers her anyway and then dumps her body in another oil tank, then buries Shannon in a shallow grave on the work site.
Oh, my goodness.
If I'm remembering correctly, in the in his confession, he said that she strangled the kids,
right?
And then he got mad at her and strangled her because of it.
Right,
a piece of shit, dude.
Well, later that day, Shannon and the girls were reported missing by Atkinson, who became concerned when Shannon missed her OBGYN appointment and failed to return her text messages as well. After Shannon missed a business meeting, Atkinson went to the Watts' residence at about 12:10 p.m. There's that specific time again. When the doorbell rang and knocks went unanswered, Atkinson notified Christopher, who was at work, and called the Frederick Police Department. Atkinson later says, "I called her, I texted her several times. I knew she had a doctor's appointment that morning because she's pregnant."
Yeah. Okay.
Pregnant people have doctor's appointment every morning.
I mean, kind of.
She didn't show up for it. I was even more concerned. Shannon was reported missing at 1:40 p.m.
Well, by now, a Frederick police officer arrived to conduct a welfare check. During the check, Christopher gave the police officer permission to search the house, which is on camera in the documentary. They even go to the neighbor's house to check the cameras and stuff, where the family dog was discovered unharmed, but no sign of Shannon or the girls. Searchers discovered Shannon's purse containing her keys and the children's medicine, something you wouldn't leave without, especially the medicine. Her phone was later located between the couch cushions in the family home. Her car, which still contained the girls' car seats, was in the garage. Shannon's wedding ring was found on the bedside table. You know the whole thing when you're leaving somebody, you put it on the table.
Tink. The FBI and the Colorado Bureau joined the investigation the next day. Watts initially told police that he had no idea where his family might be. and that he had not seen his wife since 5:15 a.m. the previous day when he left for work. He gave interviews to Denver stations KMGH and KUSA TV outside the house, pleading for the return of his wife and daughters, saying, "Shannon, Bella, Celeste, if you're out there, just come back. Like, if somebody has her, like if somebody has her,
Jeez.
could you bring her back?
Bring her back? Jeez.
Totally. Like, if somebody has her, just please bring her back. I need to see everybody. I need to see everybody again. This house is not complete without anybody here. Please bring them back."
Oh, jeez.
Investigators for search dogs could be heard on the property during the interview.
Well, that didn't work out too good for him because he was arrested on August 15th, 2018. According to the arrest affidavit and footage from security camera in the interview room, he failed a polygraph test and subsequently confessed to murdering Shannon to his dad. Well, he has to speak to his dad, and that's where he confessed. He was like, "I killed her."
Right.
According to the affidavit, Watts was having an affair and claimed he asked for a separation from Shannon. During the investigation, he claimed Shannon had strangled the girls in his response to the request for a separation, that he had then strangled her in a fit of rage and transported the bodies to a remote oil storage site leased by his employer, Anadarko Petroleum.
This guy was a complete idiot. Watts was fired by the company.
You're damn right he was.
He was put on paid leave. Watts was fired by the company on the 15th of August, the day of his arrest. The authorities located the bodies of the Watts family on the oil storage site, situated approximately 3 miles north of Ogden, on the 16th of August, the next day. The girls' bodies were found in the crude oil storage tanks. Shannon was buried in a shallow grave nearby. Bella and Celeste's bodies had each been pushed through a hatch at the top of the different oil tank, with the lid only 8 inches in diameter. Oh, my goodness. How?
Well, you forced her through, apparently.
Jeez.
According to the medical examiner, Bella had scratches on her left buttocks from being shoved through this hole. A tuft of blonde hair was found on the edge of one of these hatches. Oh, jeez. August 21st, Watts was charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder, including an additional 1 count per child cited as death of a child who had not yet attained 12 years of age, and the defendant was in a position of trust, obviously.
Right.
Unlawful termination of a pregnancy, and 3 counts of tampering with a deceased human body. He was denied bail at his first court appearance, and at a later one, it was set at $5 million, with him being required to pay 15% to get released. He ain't getting that.
No. Oh, fucking ridiculous. This guy.
How do you just do that? I don't understand.
I don't even I don't even get the dude that got him confessing. Why go to trial or anything or a hearing?
I don't think there was a trial. He confessed and pleaded guilty.
Right. So don't even have a hearing.
You still got to have sentencing and stuff.
I guess. Fuck that. The case has been connected in the media to the crime of family annihilation. Familicide. Many of these crimes occur in August before school starts, which may delay detection and investigation. According to former FBI profile Candace DeLong, cases such as the Watts are rare because the family's annihilators usually commit suicide after the moitus.
Right.
An action that Watts claimed to have contemplated out of guilt for his actions.
Pussy.
That would be so stupid. Because your whole goal was to get your dumb whore.
Right. In an interview with Dr. Phil, Watts' lawyer claimed that he confessed to killing Shannon after an argument regarding divorce, obviously. During the murder, Bella walked in on the couple. Watts then told her she was sick, loaded the girls, like we said, into this back seat, and he smothered the girls one after the other. So this is the lawyer now.
If I was the eldest or the one that was in the car watching, I would have got out and fucking started running.
Okay, dude.
I don't care.
She was only 6. Though.
Whatever. Jeez, oh fucking Pete. This is just ridiculous. This guy.
Oh, wait. No, Bella was the older one. She was only 4. She ain't running nowhere. That is crazy, dude. After your daughter looks at you and says,
right,
please don't do that to me, and then fucking, I mean.
Jeez, oh man.
Do I believe in the death penalty for shit like that? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, even the Bible said blood must shed if a harm is done to little children. So, I'll ever agree again with the death penalty.
The fucking Old Testament said that blood must be shed for looking at somebody wrong.
Right. I mean, sometimes it is.
The Old Testament was on some gangster shit, dude.
You ain't kidding. What'd they say? Adulterers, if they get pregnant, the baby must be cut out of the womb or some shit and aborted. and I think the woman gets stoned or something like that, right?
Imagine being stoned to death. Like, what the hell?
That would hurt.
What kind of punishment is that?
I hope that first one hits me in that right spot.
Just right in the fucking temple. I'd be putting my temple out. Like, hit me.
Right. Or run. Fuck. I don't think you can run.
Well, I'm sure you could try, but you got 200 people throwing stones at you.
1st of September, Shannon, Bella, Celeste remembered at their funeral at the Sacred Heart Catholic Church in Pinehurst, North Carolina. During the 90-minute ceremony, which started with a singing of Amazing Grace, Chris is never mentioned.
Fuck, why would he be?
Yeah, screw that. The priest reads a statement from Shannon's father, Frank Rzuzik. You are nothing but pure love, always caring for everybody. You will always be Daddy's little girl.
Touching. Watts pleaded guilty to the murders on November 6th. Death penalty was not put forward by the district attorney on the request of Shannon's family, who did not wish for any further deaths. Well, good for them, I guess. They were supportive of his decision to accept a plea deal. November 19th, he was sentenced to 5 life sentences, 3 consecutive and 2 concurrent, without the possibility of parole.
Oh, shit. Received an additional 48 years for unlawful termination of Shannon's pregnancy.
Jeez.
36 years for 3 charges of tampering with deceased body. His sentence began immediately.
I hope so.
3rd December. I think he should be situations like this. I think it should be, like I said, a room big enough for him to lay down and take a shit. That's it. No window.
No.
And a tiny little hole in your door just to get your food in and out. That's it.
No bed?
Yeah,
Gotta have like a mattress.
A mat. That's it. And a blanket. Man, I don't even know if I can give him a blanket. That's all he deserves. He shouldn't get no more than that. And his little 3 meals of garbage every day. 3 meals of garbage.
At least 1 hour to go outside.
Nope.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
no showers or nothing.
You gotta move around.
No, you don't. Do you? They can't move around.
We discussed this on our debate fucking show. You have to have them let
you
them move
don't
around.
have to.
Believe it or not, there's people out there that would protest. Them. You're
So what?
treating them horribly.
So what? They did a horrible, horrible crime.
It's true. That's why you should be killed.
Sickening. December 3rd, 2018, Watts was moved to an out-of-state location due to security concerns, I bet. December 5th, is he still alive?
Yeah.
Wow, how? December 5th, he arrived at Dodge Correctional Institution, a maximum security prison in Waupun, Wisconsin. Ooh, that's probably way up, too, by Canada. I bet it's cold.
Probably.
And there he will continue to serve his life sentence.
February 18th, 2019, in a 5-hour interview from prison, Chris recounts the harrowing details of his young daughter's final moments and confesses to killing them and disposing of their bodies. He says this was like the epitome of being angry, the epitome of showing a rage, the epitome of losing your mind. He said even admitted that older daughter Bella asked if he was going to do the same thing he did to his sister, and that the 4-year-old tried to fight back.
Yeah, what are you going to do? Terrible.
This dude's getting letters from chicks in the mail, and he's sending them back like they're like dirty letters and shit
ridiculous.
like that. And yeah.
People are freaking sick. 18th of November 2019, almost a year after Shannon's parents filed a civil suit, Weld County Judge Todd Taylor rules that Chris owes Shannon's parents $6 million. How? How is he going to give them $6 million? He's in freaking prison for the rest of his life.
You better make them license
That's the
plates.
stupidest thing I ever seen in my life. Guess what?
If
Your
you-
award is $6
Well,
million.
if you continue on, you'll see.
Jeez, oh fucking Pete.
That's the first one this episode. That's good for you, though.
That's $3 million for each death and $3 million for emotional pain. The amount will grow with 8% with interest. Oh goodness, 8% with interest. The money he'll never have. And while they unlikely get any of that money, it prevents Chris from profiting from the murders in any way.
Right, because he can make books and stuff and do that, but they get all the proceeds. Matter of fact, I would make them do that.
Any document that comes out, they should get it.
I would make
That
him do
History
that.
Channel
I would
or-
make him do interviews, make him do specials, make him participate in documentaries, make him write a fucking book, all that shit, and they get the family gets all the money from it. Piece of shit. I'd be he'd be like Michael Jordan on the alien planet, forever playing basketball with kids. As for Kessinger, we'll get to this bitch. She said, I don't know. These are all theories, but she says that once news hit that Shannon and their 2 daughters were missing, she began asking Chris questions.
There is some loophole. I mean, not loopholes, but there is some.
Feeling that he was lying to her,
Missing pieces
she contacted
with
the
her
local police
story.
department, fully cooperated with authorities. Got to a point that he was telling me so many lies that I eventually told him that I did not want to speak to him again until his family was found, she says. She added, I just wanted to help. With a pregnant woman and 2 children missing, I was going to do anything that I could.
Yeah, what'd you do?
That sounds fake to me already. Sorry.
What are you gonna do? Well, she was the one that went to investigators with the news that she and Chris were seeing each other and hasn't been charged with the crime. Many think that Kessinger may have had a role in the moitas. The following theories are taken from a website called thoughtcatalog.com, and some of them definitely make you scratch your head. The author of this part
And some of them definitely make you scratch your head.
The author of this particular story seems to think that she had a plan for insurance fraud that morphed into an affair. And then he planned to eliminate Chris's family so the two could collect insurance money together.
There's a whole plethora of these things. First one, after failing the polygraph, Chris gives up remarkably.
She's that lady from Adam's Family too.
Yeah, kind of, right?
It's hilarious.
The Watts family. After failing the polygraph, Chris gives up remarkably easy and confesses to the crimes. Why? Perhaps because the police immediately halted their investigation afterwards.
Maybe he's not a good liar.
If Chris were a sociopath capable of killing his pregnant wife and young children, would he really confess so easily?
Right. Yeah, I think it was a snap moment there.
So they're saying, would he have claimed he didn't want the investigation to go further to investigate her? They could have found some cracks and some shit.
Possibly. Well, Kessinger claims when she met Watts at work, she was unaware he was married because he didn't wear his wedding ring around her. Many men with similar jobs will not wear their rings to work because it can be a safety hazard.
Yeah, you ever seen people that get their fucking all their skin and shit ripped off because of a ring?
Right. Yeah, I wasn't allowed to wear mine when I worked at the factory. Sucked. What are you gonna do? He eventually mentioned his wife and children, but Kessinger claims she said he and Shannon were separated. She also said that she discovered Watts was still married when watching a news report about his missing wife and children. Well, he never said he was divorced.
Right. She said he was working on a divorce.
Right. She also said she discovered that Shannon was pregnant through the news report as well.
Oh, I bet you she did.
Oh, I bet you that really pissed her off.
Computer records show that Nichol frequented Shannon's Facebook page, where Shannon announced her pregnancy and made frequent updates about her family. No one looking at Shannon's Facebook page would be under the impression she was nearing the end of a mutual divorce, as Nichol claimed to believe. Right, if you're stalking somebody's page.
Okay. There's that Facebook coming in again.
Right.
Well, you see, you guys, watch what you do on Facebook.
Somebody's watching.
Yep.
I always feel like somebody's watching me. What about the fantasy? Ooh.
Why do I always feel like Facebook is watching me? Because they are. Because they are.
It pops up on the screen. We are.
Anywho. As a safety officer, Nichol knew tons of information about the site Chris worked at, including that it was a perfect site to possibly commit insurance fraud, which would require the kind of explosion that would destroy bodies and evidence. Wow.
The only problem with that is there's no exploding.
Right.
It's okay. First time Kessinger said she felt anything was off about Watts was the night of Shannon's murder. Before Shannon got home from her business trip, Chris and Nichol FaceTimed. He was laying on his bare mattress. Since it was late at night, Nichol said she thought this was strange. When the bodies of his victims were recovered, they were wrapped in sheets.
Oh, wow.
The phone call was 111 minutes long.
Damn.
Nichol had not been able to tell police what they talked about during this call, though she was interviewed less than 72 hours later. So you don't remember what you talked about for 111 minutes.
Right.
Why was this mattress? Did he call her after he murdered him? Oh, because the kids were still alive.
It's on FaceTime.
Right.
You think it's not recorded?
I don't know.
Wow.
Right.
Kessinger claims that after Watts appeared to be too casual about his family missing, she contacted the police and told them about the affair. However, this was after the police were already informed about the affair by a supervisor at Anadarko Petroleum. So,
Well, Nichol has no alibi for the time of the murders. I don't think she helped. But
you never know.
even though their relationship was only 2 months long, police discovered wedding dress shopping along with phrases like "marrying your mistress" and "man I'm having an affair with" says he will leave his wife in her Google search history.
Oh, wow.
There's the proof there, buds. Everybody's going to know your Google search history. Police also found that she had been searching Google for Chris Watts as early as August 3rd, 2017, almost a full year before she claims they spoke for the first time.
Oh.
And months before she, quote unquote, met him at work.
Oh, shit.
So maybe she had her eye on him. I mean, she did
How long was she working there?
probably a while, I'm assuming, right?
Right.
So maybe she passed him and was like, "Oh, Chris Watts, I'm going to Google him."
Married, huh? Let's
That's not too out of the ordinary.
married, eh? Let's fix that. Morning of the murders, neighbor saw a truck similar to the one Nicole owned outside the Watts home.
Oh.
At that very time, Nicole's phone pinged a tower in Frederick, Colorado, where the Watts family home was.
Whoa.
Kessinger lived in a town 25 miles away.
Oh.
25 minutes away, which is about 25 miles, 20 miles. Okay. So there's something there.
All right.
And how the police never went with this?
I don't know.
Nicole tried to destroy her SIM card before giving her phone to investigators.
Oh, geez. And they didn't know that?
She Hillary Clintoned it and got away with it.
Wow.
Maybe that's where Hillary got it from. She also deleted texts and photos of Watts, and her search history shows her looking to see if the cops would be able to read her deleted messages.
Oh, my goodness. How do they get, where are they getting this?
Oh, my goodness.
So the police pulled all this stuff up and know about this, and they didn't say nothing?
Dude, it's ridiculous what's on your phone, people.
Wow.
So now you know.
Yeah, your phone's never completely wiped.
Ever.
As long as you have the SIM card.
Well, it doesn't even have to be your phone because most people are using a Gmail.
It's true. Well, for email.
Yeah, but if you're using a phone under your Gmail, all your search history would be there.
Well, yeah, for the search history, not text messages, though.
I think so.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so. Unless you have the SIM card that has your information and shit on there.
Very possible.
Well, phone records show that Nicole and Chris were in close contact the night before, morning of, and day following the murders.
Oh, wow.
Chris told law enforcement he tried to first subdue Shannon with OxyContin. The police were not able to establish how he would have gotten it, as he had not been prescribed to him.
Well, it's not that fucking hard. Yeah, OxyContin.
He told the police apparently that where he got the OxyContin where it came from is a secret he will take to his grave. This text from Nicole to Chris that says, "I want to be a part of it. Being in your life is something I crave. I want to be a part of it." Yeah, his life. I don't think she's saying I want to be part of the murders. You know, right? I don't know. I guess.
We got some information here with Nicole.
All right.
She's a stalker.
Why is this not followed up on?
This is the Addams family, too. Holy shit.
Why is this not followed up on, police officers?
Nicole also Googled how much Amber Frey's net worth was. Amber Frey was the mistress of Scott Peterson, who was convicted of murdering his pregnant wife, Lacey Peterson. So what? I want to see how much money she got for you.
Right.
There may be security footage of Nicole at the Watts home the morning of the murders. There may be.
Maybe. Is there or not?
Is there? Yeah, right. Come on. Not that fucking hard. Figure that out, boys.
In her interviews, Kessinger avoids saying the names of Shannon, Bella, Celeste, or Nico. This is a common tactic used to distance yourself from someone you have wronged.
Right.
Since Chris Watts confessed to his crimes, Nichol Kessinger has deleted her social media, left her job, moved away from the community, and she may be in the witness protection program. Why would you be in the witness protection program?
Right.
That doesn't make any sense.
Why?
She called the dude from Breaking Bad.
Right. Oh, my.
Doesn't make any sense at all.
This dumb whore.
Huh.
December 2018 episode of ABC News Series 2020. Shannon's parents were interviewed for the fourth time since the Moitas. HLN aired a special report the same month titled Family Massacre. Chris Watts exposed.
Shut the fuck up.
Right. In which footage of Watts from police body cameras and security cameras in the police station's interview room were revealed. Look at him. He's all smug.
Right.
Doesn't even look like he did anything wrong.
That reminds me, in the actual documentary, when they go to the neighbor's house to check their cameras, Chris leaves, and then the neighbor guy tells the cop in the body cam, he's like, he's acting weird. I think he had something to do with it. And the cop's like, well, we can't do nothing we can't.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yet. Yeah. So even the neighbors were like, yeah, this dude's fucking weird.
In a recorded interview released by the CBI with Christopher's girlfriend, she revealed his behavior changes in the days prior to
we don't take nothing this bitch does serious anymore.
Right.
December 18th.
Your little girlfriend.
Right. December 2018 episode of the American talk show Dr. Phil.
I don't like Dr. Phil.
You don't like Dr. Phil?
He's a chauvinist pig.
Phil McGraw consulted with 4 crime experts, former prosecutor and TV journalist Nancy Grace. You ever seen her talk shit to people?
Who, Nancy Grace?
Yeah. Former FBI profiler Candice DeLong, law enforcement consultant Steve Cardian, and body language expert Susan Constantine.
Okay.
Experts analyzed the motivation, secret life, and profiling of the Watts.
All right.
Of Watts, Chris Watts.
Okay.
Okay. And what do they say?
All right.
January 2019 episode of the talk show Dr. Oz Show. Commentary is provided on his case by the neighbor who helped build the case against him, who was interviewed in studio. Yeah, probably the same guy that was like, I think he did it.
The neighbor? Yeah, everybody watched. He was a retired guy, had nothing to do.
No, he was pretty young.
Oh, he was a young guy with no job, nothing to do.
They lived in a $230,000 house, so I think he had a job.
Maybe it was his day off. I don't fucking know. June 21st. June June 20
nope.
yeah June 2021. Inside Edition reported further confessions from Chris Watts to a pen pal.
Ooh, he's got a pen pal, huh? He's just writing. Wow.
Might as well, right? Multiple letters. Watts explained that he had planned the moida of.
So now it's premeditated. I mean, he's already serving life in prison, but now it's
So he's
premeditated.
saying he planned the murder for several weeks, and that the OxyContin found in Shannon's system was given to her by him, hoping to end her pregnancy because he believed that would make it easier for him to be with his girlfriend. Why? You have,
I don't think so.
you have two other kids in the other room.
You realize also if she has like a miscarriage, she's probably gonna be like mentally fucked for a minute. Probably not a good time. But hey, babe, I know you just got a miscarriage, but I think we should divorce. Dude.
Right.
Jeez.
Then he also put in those letters new details about the murder of his daughters. He claims that he tried to smother them in their beds at home, but failed. How the hell do you fail? How would you fail?
Didn't I hear one? I think there's one theory where he tried to smother one of them, like, and then the Bella girl woke up and he was surprised, and that's when she walked in the room.
Right, and he was like, "Oh shit."
Why wouldn't he? Why they wouldn't know that he tried to smother him? Like, I mean, they are young, but I mean, still, right? December 7th, 2019, Oxygen released a 1-hour documentary about the case as the first episode of Series 3 of their television program, Criminal Confessions.
Okay.
January 26, 2020, Lifetime released a film, of course they did, called Chris Watts, Confession of a Killer, as part of its Ripped from the Headlines feature film set of series. Series whenever it stars Sean, yeah, who cares?
I think I watched this one.
Shannon's family spoke out against the film, stating they had not been consulted about it and were not aware of its making until it's already in production. You don't need to be, but
All right.
they also said they were not making any money from it and fear that it would only increase the harassment online that they have already been receiving.
They should make money from it. I don't care anything about the ad. They should make money.
Yeah, I would say.
Even Chris Watts' parents.
No.
No. September 30th, 2020, Netflix. They got to get in the action.
Of course.
They're going to release American Murder, The Family Next Door, a documentary about the Moidas. The documentary features archival footage, including home videos, social media posts, text messages, and law enforcement recordings. Maybe this is the one I watched. 2022 True Crime Band.
Skinned,
There's a
maybe?
True Crime Band?
I guess.
Oh, shit. They go out there and sing about real shit? Nice. Fuck yeah. 2022, the True Crime Band, Skinned, SKYND, published a single called Chris Watts, based on the Watts case. And also, fella Tyler Cassidy has a song called Chris Watts as well.
He does.
Check him out.
A little bit more,
Yeah, more fucked up.
yeah, but, yeah. Chris Watts. Piece of shit.
Yeah, garbage.
Should have got sentenced to death
Told you.
instead of fucking living out his days in prison and shit.
Like I said, if not death, it needs to be in a room. Like I said, big enough to lay down in, take a shit, and have a sink. That's it. No out time. You got a sink right there. You can shower. Get your armpits, get your fucking ass, and get your crotch. That's all you need to wash. Be healthy.
Oh no, he's writing back and forth currently to a true crime author, so she's gonna write a book.
Yep.
Hopefully, all that money goes to the family. Then
Should.
huh?
Freaking better.
He says this is where he wrote to the true crime chick author, whatever. His attempt to murder his daughters fails. They woke up bruised and traumatized from what they had endured.
All right, so when's that coming out?
He said, I went to the girls' room first before Shannon and I had our argument. Went to Bella's room and then Cece's room and used a pillow from their bed to kill them. That's why the cause of death was smothering. Oh, so he's saying they drowned in the...
They killed him at home.
Yeah, but he did it at the oil field.
No, that's what he says.
Yes, after I left Cece's room, I climbed back in bed with Shannon and our argument ensued. He continued, after Shannon had passed, Bella and Cece woke back up. Not sure how they woke up, but they did. Bella's eyes were bruised and both girls looked like they had been through trauma. That made the act
kill them.
right. That made the act that much worse, knowing I went to the rooms first and knowing I still took their lives at the location of the batteries. In letters, he adds he was concealing other facts and stories that he would not talk about in the phone calls from prison. He's concerned about them being recorded. Killer previously claimed that a spontaneous outburst led him to murder his pregnant wife so he could be with his mistress. However, he said that he'd been plotting the murders for a while. Yeah, we just said that.
Right.
He says, August 12th, when I finished putting the girls to bed, I walked away and said, that's the last time I'm going to be tucking my babies in. I knew that was going to happen the day before, and I did nothing to stop it. It would. He said, I thought it would be easier to be with Nicole if Shannon wasn't pregnant.
Oh, get the hell out of here. That's the stupidest reasoning in the world. I thought it'd be easier. Are you that dumb? What, the other two kids don't mean anything? What's her being pregnant have to do with anything? Right?
Right.
Stupidity.
In exchange for his approval, Watts asked the author to publish his testimony of coming to God and the forgiveness he received. You didn't get forgiven. Sorry.
I mean, he did.
He probably did, but still, he's not going to heaven.
If he actually did convert. If he actually did, but I doubt it. I mean, maybe. I can't say that.
He also recalled how his wife looked when she was murdered. Said, "Isn't it weird how I look back and what I remember so much is her face getting all black with streaks of mascara? All the weeks of me thinking about killing her, and now I was faced with it." He continued, I knew if I took my hands off her, she would still keep me from Nikki.
Well, obviously.
They asked me why she couldn't fight back. It's because she couldn't fight back. His daughters then flooded into the room after hearing the commotion. Watts explained their mother wasn't feeling well. He attempted to carry her down the stairs, draped in a bed sheet, but she was too heavy, so he dragged her down the remaining steps before bundling her in the back of his truck. The girls were just kind of running around the house and watching me with scared looks on their faces. Bella started to cry, and when she did, Celeste started whimpering. What a nightmare this was. Realized now the girls getting up and walking away may have been God's third attempt to stop what I was doing. You fucking think so? And then he drove and killed him.
Jeez.
I put it over her head and smothered her. The killer then squeezed Celeste's bodies through an 8-inch hatch. Up there, dude.
Man, I don't know how.
I couldn't believe how easy it was to just let her drop through the hole and let her go. I heard the splash as she hit the oil. Bella, obviously seen it. Little quiet Bella had a will to live, he says. Out of all three, Bella's the only one that put up a fight. I will hear her soft little voice for the rest of my life saying, "Daddy, no." She knew what I was doing to her. She may not have understood death, but she knew I was killing her.
This guy don't even deserve to even tell a story. Piss off.
What a fucking piece of shit.
Garbage. Put him in a room big enough to lay down. I don't care.
Fucking put him in a fucking vertical room big enough for him to stand up.
Right. You don't even get a chance to lay down.
Leans against the wall. Get his shit.
You fucking prick.
Piece of shit.
Garbage.
That's going to do it for us. Go check out our other shows. I think we'll be back next week for maybe the Boston Marathon bombing. And then probably going to start getting into the Mafia pretty quick here, guys. So I think after the Marathon bombing, we probably would.
Maybe. We'll see.
The only notable thing we got coming up in terms of anniversaries of things is Waco in April, I think. So other than that, it'll probably be Mafia after Boston Marathon. Boston Marathon might be 2 parts, though, because that's long.
Possibly.
Come back for that. Then Battles of the American Civil War and This Week in Sports History on the Bang Dang Network. And we'll be back next week for more Outlaws and Gunslingers. We're the Mouth of Michigan.